And our third main topic today gets submitted to us by Dominic F, who writes, "Hey, John and Rob. I know one of your favorite movie stars is Ryan Reynolds, and you've been looking forward to Free Guy, and good news, I just read a bunch of first reactions, and they're all really positive. A lot more positive than the Snake Eye reviews, and we'll talk about Snake Eyes in a bit here, that I've been reading. Have you read the reactions, and if so, does it increase your excitement for the movie? Thanks." All right, thanks a lot for saying that in, Dominic. And yeah, look, obviously I'm looking forward to Free Guy. Obviously. Ryan Reynolds is right now my favorite movie star in the world. I'm not saying he's the best actor in the world, but he's my favorite movie star in the world right now. And I'm not going to deny that part of that is because he's a good Canadian kid. Obviously, that's a heavy part of it. But I just love what Ryan Reynolds brings to stuff. And I love Taika Waititi. And of course, he's in this as well. Now, look, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I've been looking forward to Free Guy as much as I've been looking forward to No Time to Die or looking forward to Dune. I simply haven't. But I have been looking forward to it. But man, the reactions are coming out. And while they're not on the same level, Rob, as the reactions that were coming out for James Gunn's Suicide Squad the other day, the reactions that we've been getting for Free Guy are surprisingly strong. Like, surprisingly strong. Like, all over the place. They're saying it's funny, it's heartfelt, it's got like more depth to it than you think it would, because it just kind of looks like, I mean, I'll be honest with you, Rob. I've been looking forward to this movie, but on the surface to me, it's looked a little bit like a poor man's Ready Player One. Like a little bit of a cross between Ready Player One and The Truman Show is kind of what it's felt like to me a little bit. So, but listen to some of these responses that we've gotten out of this. Mike Riaz wrote, "Free Guy is everything I'd hoped for and then some." Sean Levy, by the way, I really like him as a director, and Ryan Reynolds have created a universe that is bitingly satirical and heartwarmingly hilarious. I love this movie and I cannot wait to see it again because there are moments that will absolutely kill with an audience. Jacqueline writes, "Free Guy is the best video game movie ever made, period." By the way, Free Guy is not a video game movie. Can we just be clear about that? It's not a video game movie. Anyway, still, even non-gamers will be entertained, funny, and surprising. Earnest, it harnesses every aspect of the gaming culture, the good, the bad, and the hilarious, and the ugly. Also, give me more movies with Joe Carey. He killed it. This one comes to us from Christina, who writes, "I had so much fun with Free Guy. It's silly, funny, delightful, weird, and just all around made my heart happy. Ryan Reynolds and Jodie Comer, who of course we all know, Rob, from Killing Eve, which is a show that you turned me on to, by the way. You're the one who turned me on to that show, are a great duo." Then we've got Nikki writes, "Free Guy is a joy and will be a hit. A video game movie." Again, it's not a video game movie. "A video game movie that actually makes you feel like you're in a video game. Ryan Reynolds is the movie equivalent of Ted Lasso. Glass half full, full of fab, one-liners, and so damn likable. Jodie Comer is a movie star, ahem, Marvel. Clever and original, surprises galore." And Rob, that's basically, through all of them that I've been reading, that has basically been the general consensus, that this is charming and delightful and funny. And I've been hearing, I don't know what, but I've been hearing an ending with maybe some cameos that are going to blow people's minds. I have no idea what it is. I have just been hearing that stick around to the very ending, because apparently something happens in this movie that is going to make everybody lose their minds. I have no idea what that is. Obviously, my imagination goes to he's going to come out in a Deadpool costume. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but I'm thinking about it. So, Rob, obviously, I'm very happy to hear these types of reactions. By the way, our friend Late Fee Cinema sends in a super chat badge in the live chat. Thank you, Late Fee Cinema. Appreciate that, man. So, yeah, Rob, this is really good. I'll be honest with you. I didn't know what to expect from a first round of reactions because, again, it looks like it could be good, but it also looks like it could go south. And I feel a lot better about this movie because I know when I'm seeing it. So I feel a lot better about this movie now that I've heard these early reactions. Rob, what has your expectation levels been like for a Free Guy? And are you surprised to hear these? Are you not surprised? What are you thinking?
Well, first of all, I think the premise of Free Guy is one of those perfect high concept premises that studios can come up with. You know, that used to be back in the late 80s and early 90s, everyone was looking for those kinds of movies. And I think the idea behind it's genius. It's so clever. And I love, especially in this day and age, we live in the golden age of video games so far. What's not to love? And with Ryan Reynolds playing the role, it's perfectly cast. And so you look at that when he puts the glasses on and realizes he's in a video game. I'm like, okay, that to me just appeals to me on so many different levels. And it looks really good. Like, it looks like they took, sometimes when they have a really good premise and then they don't deliver on the premise, there's so many different ways they could go with it and they just don't go any of those ways. It looks like they've really examined this idea from all different angles, and that it looks like to be one of those things you go into the theater and you get everything you might have possibly wanted from the idea behind this movie. So that's what it looks like to me. It looks like a gloriously successful idea that they put everything into it. It worked perfectly. That's kind of how I feel about it. And I'm actually way more excited to see this movie than I thought I would be. But each successive trailer has shown me more things. And I'm like, okay, this movie's really clever. The people that made this movie took their premise and they delivered. That said, knowing that there's even more craziness that they haven't told us about just makes me that much more excited. I don't know why, John. I'm really excited for this movie just because, it looks like they just took the idea and delivered on the premise. And that, I love that, even though it's a high concept premise, and I just think it looks like they've really nailed it.
Yeah,
and that's exciting.
My excitement started to bump up for it quite a bit when they put out that Deadpool and Korg do a trailer reaction for a guy. I mean, that's one of the most brilliant things that they've ever done. But I want to address this for a second, because I've been seeing a lot of people calling this a video game movie. This is not a video game movie. A video game movie is a movie that gets built upon a pre-existing video game, much like a comic book movie is a movie that takes a comic book or a graphic novel and then transfers it and turns that into a movie. That's why I often tell people, like, The Incredibles is not a comic book movie. It's a superhero movie for sure, but it's not a comic book movie. Wreck-It Ralph is a movie about a video game, but it's not a video game movie. They didn't have a pre-existing video game that they say, let's take that IP and turn it into this, any more than they can always say a movie is a novel adaptation. Well, that's because there was a novel, they took it and adapted it. A video game movie, by definition, is when there is a pre-existing video game and a studio decides, let's take that IP and turn it into a movie. So while Wreck-It Ralph, Free Guy, these are movies about video games, but it's not a video game movie. Anyway, it's a semantic thing, but it irks me, Rob. It irks me when I hear people calling a movie that's not actually a video game movie a video game movie. This was an original concept from the start, and they rolled with it. So anyway, that's just that. But whatever. You can call it whatever you want to call it. Question is for you guys. What do you think about these reactions that we're hearing for Free Guy? I mean, they sound a lot better than I was anticipating. Maybe not as through the roof as Suicide Squad is sounding coming from Warner Brothers, but this sounds really good, and I am very excited to see, especially hot on the heels of that Deadpool Korg reaction video that they did. I thought the marketing for this is really ramping up, and it's looking great. What do you guys think? Jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.